I think it's really important that food service and agriculture have a bonded partnership and relationship so that we understand each other's challenges.
The relationship between the food service and food producers has improved, but it's got to improve further.
If you look at it, the food services business is really critical because they're the major customer. If you look at, where food goes.
We think about the long term. We're thinking about the next 10 or 15 years for our business. We're investing huge sums of money in training and developing chefs. A bit pointless if we haven't got the raw materials, the produce coming through.
So moving on to sustainable British agriculture, which is the real subject, I guess, of the talk. And I believe we have a sustainable agricultural sector in the UK.
Key drivers on sustainability are several-fold, but I guess the main ones are around better awareness of consumers and that they want to actually change what they're doing. The fear of the future of the planet. I mean, I think people genuinely are concerned.
Well, obviously there's an overall global issue in terms of making sure that we've got sufficient food supply for the populated world population in the future, and I think being intelligent and thoughtful about that, the government's got a role to play, producers have got a role to play, and we as food service providers have got a role to play.
Everybody has a responsibility to educate consumers, and nobody can actually avoid that. So it goes back to actually at school, through health, through the government, and through us as providers, as an organisation.
At policy making level, people understand it. I think increasingly the agricultural community is beginning to get it. But of course, farming's a hard life and people are very focused on the day-to-day issues.
The government has got a really important role to play to make sure that everyone in the food industry is aware of the bigger picture, the broader requirements, and to give some real strategic guidance and to encourage people to make sensible, long-term, sustainable choices.
Sustainability in the supply chain falls between the government, I believe, because sometimes we've got to make some tough decisions and they might need to lead that, and also the supply chain themselves and the consumers. So when we're demanding our supply chain to provide us with goods, it's key that we state what our drivers are and that we make them match that.
I think the government has got to play a role in it. But these are very, very difficult times financially for government to be doing these things, and the problem is pressing. Back to an earlier point of yours, my own belief is it makes commercial good sense. I'm more confident about consumers' awareness. And I think therefore it's up to the food services industry to help make consumers aware, but also to respond to their needs.
The government chief scientist, Professor John Beddington, talks about the perfect storm, about this scenario where we've got a world growth in world population and constraints on production through climate change. So our challenge, and certainly you will hear our President Peter Kendall continuously talking about the challenge for farmers and growers to produce more but impact less and probably add value at the same time. That's quite a challenge, but it's in effect what we have to do.
I think for all the farmers out there, we want to help, we want to support. They've got to come to us and tell us when they're challenged. We live in this great country, farming is what we're based around, and we want to help and we want to make sure we sustain that into the future.
I think this is a fabulous forum. I think it's really on the money. I think it's really sensible. I think it's not just about individual organisations, individual producers, it's about the whole supply chain, thinking about how can we develop ideas, how can we be more innovative, not just in product, but in the whole way we think about things to get long-term, sustainable, good quality, fresh food in front of our customers.